Grace to you, good people. Philippians 1:21 on your bread of life today, as I talk to us about to live is Christ. Yes, to live is Christ, and I'm going to read the New King James. Paul says, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." For to me to live is Christ, not money, not fame, not pleasure, but Christ, and to die is gain. What is Paul talking about as I talk to us about to live is Christ? Now, let me start by saying this, that everyone in this life has a particular set of systems of beliefs that they live for. You have a set of systems, how you believe, how you think about life. Just go out and ask people, what do you think about life? What is life to you? And people are going to give you various systems and beliefs in life. There are those who believe in pleasure, there are those who believe in fame, there are those who believe in cows, there are those who believe in goats. I mean, people have got different belief systems. Now, to some, life is pleasure. To some, life is fame. To some, life is power. To some, life is sex. So you can say, for me to live is pleasure. For me to live is fame. For me to live is power. For me to live is sex. Everyone has got a belief system. Okay, now, despite the many philosophies that I've just shared, I strongly believe that for any philosophy to be great, one must be willing to die by it. Yes, if you say for you to live is money, then are you willing to die for money? If you say for me to live is fame, are you willing to die? If you say for me to live is Christ, are you then willing to die for Christ? So, according to our theme text, to live is Christ and to die is gain becomes unto me the greatest philosophy of life, because it is important you understand that, which I'm going to share. Okay? Okay? So, this means that to die is gain becomes unto me the greatest philosophy. Why? Because I am willing to die for Christ. The Bible says in Galatians 2:20, I have been crucified with Christ. It's no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Paul is saying for me to live is Christ, to die is gain. And so that becomes the greatest philosophy. And he says, this Christ lives in me. Now, to live is Christ is the undoubted character of every good Christian. Let me say it again. To live is Christ is the undoubted character of every good Christian, because we live for Christ. The glory of Christ is to them the end of their life. The grace of Christ, the principle of their life, and the word of Christ, the rule of it. Very important you follow these statements. Very important, because for you to live is Christ. In other words, all those to whom to live is Christ, to them to die will be great gain. Why? Because the day they die, they will spend the rest of their lives with the very Christ they lived for while on earth. Very important. That's the greatest philosophy. Friends, if to you to live is money, for example, then to die is loss, because the day you die, you will leave all your money behind. If for you to live is fame, then to die is loss, because the day you die, you're going to leave all the fame behind. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But if you live for Christ, then to die is gain, because the day you die, you're going to spend the rest of your life. You're going to see this person, Jesus Christ, the very person you are living, you were living for here on earth. And so for you to live is Christ and to die is gain. So you have no problem leaving the earth, because you know you are entering into another dimension of being in the presence of Christ, the glorified Christ. Am I really making sense? So, if for you to live is money, then to die is loss, it doesn't mean that you don't make money. Okay? Make money, but don't let it take the principal rule of life, because Christ is the principal rule and the end of life thereof. Am I really making sense? So, today I've labored to tell us about the philosophy of life. What is your philosophy of life? What are you living for? And that determines how you wake up, what time you wake up, the things you do, the things you think about, because that's where your treasure is. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be. What are you living for? What are you really living for? If for you to live is Christ, then to die is gain. You have no problem dying because you're going to spend the rest of your life with the very Christ that you're living for. But if for you to live is money, you're going to see problems. So ask yourself, when I am working, is it prestige over purpose, or is it purpose over prestige? Once you have that catered for and you have that answered in your life, and then you realize that, you know what, it is purpose over prestige, then I can guarantee you something, that the best is yet to come. God bless you.